Hey, what's up, guys? I know I've been on a hiatus and sorry, a friend texted me. Anyway, so I decided I wanted to make a video on my soon-to-be ex-coworker. Now, you guys, actually, hold on, a little life update first. Excuse me, buddy. Can I borrow you? So, me and my girlfriend got a cat, and he has 3 legs. Anyway, he's gonna go back to watching birds. There you go. Anyway, I also got these sick pajamas and my underwear stuck in my ass. Anyway, so I'm gonna give you guys a little story about my soon-to-be ex-coworker because there are some things, man. So, basically, I'm not gonna disclose where I work, although I've probably mentioned that at some point. However, I will say that I wouldn't have considered us friends at the beginning. However, while I was living in Hastings, which is a 40-minute drive from where I am now, or 30-minute, whatever, and she would offer to take me to work because my friend that I was living with at the time couldn't drive me all the time because she was working at literally 5 o'clock in the morning, could not take me. And I didn't want to get to my work for 6 a.m. and not be working until noon, you know? She was taking me to work and, she's always said some interesting things when it comes to, how do I explain this? I'd be like, oh yeah, I do this. And she's just like, well, that's not right and blah 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 blah. And it wasn't even something that bad. I can't remember exact things from when I was living in Hastings because it's been about a year now. However, while I lived here, she was my roommate for a little while, and it was fine. She was always at her boyfriend's house. She wasn't really here. Whatever, fine, good. That's that, right? Wrong. So she had 2 lizards. Okay, they're both geckos, I believe. I could be wrong. I don't know much about lizards. Anyway, I'm gonna drop my knees so my titties are out. Anyway, so she's at her boyfriend's a bunch and she was gone for 2 weeks and she was like, oh, hey, could you feed my lizards? And I was like, sure, dude. And anyway, so I'm I go upstairs with my girlfriend to help feed the lizards because I don't know how to do it. My girlfriend's had lizards before. And the lizards, I don't know a lot about lizards, but from the looks of it, they were extremely malnourished, very skinny, very bony, and they had 2 hides and the light was on 24/7, which I know is not good for them. If you know different, please let me know because I could be just being stupid. Anyway, so while she was still living here, I get really excruciating period cramps to the point where I can't move for hours at a time because it hurts too much. I am keeled over in pain. I am almost throwing up. So she comes home from work one day and I'm with my girlfriend and we're about to go grocery shopping because yes, I might be in pain, but I can take an hour trip to go pick up some fucking groceries so I don't starve. So I go and I pick this stuff up and I'm sitting in the living room and I'm putting my shoes on. And she's like, I thought you weren't feeling well. And I was like, I'm not. And she's just like, well, you look fine to me. And I was like, I have really bad cramps. And she's like, well, that's not a reason to miss work. And I said, I mean, considering the fact that I can't move for 6+ hours sometimes, I'm pretty sure it's a pretty good reason to not go into work. And she literally goes, period cramps are not an excuse to miss work. You should probably get that checked out. And I said, you know what they're going to give me? Birth control. I don't want to go on birth control. And I ended with, are you going to take me to Lindsay to go to the doctor? Because, okay, so I live 45 minutes from Lindsay. I don't live with my dad, as you guys may know. And I was like, are you going to take me to the doctor? And then she just walked away in a huff or whatever, went back to work. Moves out. I mean, Sherbert moves out. I'm going to bleep that. Sherbert moves out, and everything's chill, everything's fine. And so Sherbert has a horrible way of telling people how to do things. Now we have a lot of new people at my work, like a lot of new people, because back to school is happening and a bunch of people are like going to university, going to college, all of that fun stuff. And so we have some new people, and instead of like when someone does something wrong being like, oh hey, like can I like help you, can I show you how to do this, it's very much, hold on, let me grab something to use as an example. So at my work in the fitting rooms, which is where you try on clothes obviously, you have a little booklet and it says like common practices. And so she goes, have you read, and she said this to me too, it wasn't just like the new people, she goes, have you read the manual? And I was like, no. And she's like, well, I think you should brush up on it. Miss Girl, I've been here for 2 years now. I know my shit. Like, excuse me? And she's just very condescending, especially to me. I am one of the youngest people that work there. And it's very, like, okay. So, I was in the fitting rooms, and I normally, Chip, you stay away from my wires. I normally work, like, either mornings or I work afternoons. So, like, 10 to 5 or like 3 to 8 kind of thing. So I'm like folding my clothes, I'm hanging my clothes, I'm scanning my clothes. That we were insanely busy this day. My cat is biting my toes. All right. So okay, we're gonna try this again. I had to go into my recently deleted and delete every single little thing. Anyway, I don't remember where we left off. Oh yeah, she's just like, okay, so I was like phone bin, I was doing my thingy thing, and my manager had come over, the general manager, the person who was in charge of everybody, came over and said, hey, we're really busy, don't worry, if it says Old Navy on the tag, I just gave away where I work, that's not important. Like, so, okay, when you get an online return, it says Old Navy on the bottom. It does not say the price. It just says Old Navy with a little barcode. Fine. She's like, hey, don't worry about it. If you know we have it, don't scan it. Put it on the floor. We said, cool. Okay, thanks. And Sherbert, over there, decided that she would take it upon herself to continuously bring that stuff back to us and say, this needs to be scanned. This needs to be scanned. Did you scan this? Are you scanning everything? Like, we're supposed to scan like every article of clothing, right? And I said, my manager told us not to. Don't worry about it because like we're really, really busy. And Sherbert goes, okay. I said, okay. And so I go back to doing what I'm doing. And I get through it. Hold on. Sorry about that. My manager messaged everybody. Anyway. So she's extremely condescending, and she is all the time, and it's gotten to a point of like, so literally yesterday I was at work, and she comes up to me just before I go on my break, and I have a manager standing here, and she stands here, and I'm standing here, and I'm talking to my manager, and she comes up and she's like, Ryder? I was like, yes. She's like, have you donated yet? Donated, like, I was like, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. I haven't seen anything. And she's just like, well, first she asked why, and then I said that, and then she's just like, well, are you good with words? I was like, not really. So, well, you good at with your hands, like wrapping things? And I was like, I guess. And then she proceeds to like ask me if I'll wrap stuff. Okay, first of all, ma'am, you don't ask somebody if they've donated in the middle of work, especially because she knows my financial situation. I have enough to feed myself, and that is it. And before you say, oh, you got a kid, most of the stuff that I have was given to me for free, so she can suck my big old cock for that. And like, there's so much other condescending stuff that this lady does. And it's very like the other day, I made a joke. She's like, oh, she handed me a pair of pants. She's like, we don't carry these. And I said, well, you're carrying it as a joke. I said in a joking manner too. It wasn't even like, well, you're carrying it. And she was like, we don't carry it in the store. And I was like, goddamn, all right. I said, yeah, I'll figure it out. And then I asked her, I was like, oh, whose rail is that? And it was a black cart. It wasn't a rail, it was a black cart. She goes, you mean a cart? Goddamn, lady. My brain farted. Like, what? And maybe I'm being a little dramatic, but I'm so fed up with this stuff too, because it's like, she likes to make these little, like, comments and stuff where, so, like a month or two ago, one of the managers dropped a bunch of stuff in the bin, and my bin was full. And I just went, and she took it upon herself to say that I was doing that to the manager. Went to the manager, and one of the okay, so I have 4 managers in total. Sherbert, not a manager. Anyway, one of the managers, like the general manager, was like, oh, hey, I got a question. I was like, what's up? What's going on? What's poppin'? You good? And she was like, well, someone brought it to my attention that, like, you went, and I was like, to the floor. I did that to the floor. She's like, so you don't have a problem with manager X? I was like, no, of course not. Like, we're good. We're vibing. I don't know what you're, like, all right. And so I was like, all right. And I knew Sherbert had told them. I knew it. And here's the thing. I could get Sherbert in trouble for a couple of things. She made a comment about drinking on the job. Making a joke that she was drinking on the job. Could get her in trouble for that. As well as nobody that I work with that is like a regular employee respects her. Because she thinks that she is better than everyone. She thinks that she knows everything. And it has become a huge problem where people just say, okay. And then let her walk away because, like, okay, imagine being like a 30-year-old, okay? And someone talks to you like, no, we're gonna do it like this. And, you know, it's better for everybody because this is how you're supposed to do it. Miss Girl, close your trap. No one gives a shit. So though, okay, it's not even that we don't give a shit. It's that the way she goes about things is so condescending and so rude, and it makes everybody feel uncomfortable and awkward. I don't know if I'm gonna post this, but well, you know what? No, I'm gonna post this, and you guys let me know if I'm being a dick or if I'm crazy. But everyone that I work with says she only really does it to me. They do it a little to everyone else, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching, and maybe I'll post another video soon. Maybe not. I don't know.